Hello, wonderful people. Good day, and I hope you are enjoying your day. You are having a nice time, moving on from glory to glory, talking one victory over and after the other. Now, this is the Life by Design um channel, and as usual, we are back with something short, something brief, but very, very educative and motivational that can help you design your life according to purpose, that can help you take your life from one level of glory to the next, that can help you design and get the good things you want out of life, of course, with the help and the blessings of God. All right? So, today, what are we saying? We are telling you, we are suggesting to you that your world is at your command, your world is in your hands. Okay, dear listener or dear viewer, you are not a victim of this world. You are not living inside a world created for you by circumstances or by somebody. The world you live in is your own creation, it's your own brainchild. The world you live in is the world you have created for yourself. Believe this, take responsibility, take charge, and from this point, you can effect any change that you want. All right? Now, the idea of you being in charge of your world does not go down so well with so many people because human nature is such that we are always looking for somebody to blame, some condition to blame, so that it will make or it will seem like if only if somebody or something change, then our life could get better. If somebody or something outside of us change, then we stand a chance of getting what we want. But that is approaching life from a failure's point of view, from the victim's standpoint, and that is not going to help. If you have been living your life like this from the past, it is time to throw away that concept and accept the fact that your world is at your command, your world is your making. All right? And from that point, from that day, you begin to take charge. Maybe up to this point, you've been creating your world unconsciously. And that is why you don't see yourself in the things you have created yourself. But from today, if you can be conscious of the world you want to live in and you can be intentional and take steps toward the goal and the future you want to have, all things are possible. Now, if this is going to be, if you are going to get the kind of life, the kind of world you want that you can be proud of, one thing you need to understand, dear listener or dear viewer, is that you've got to be very, very careful and conscious of the label and the name you give to issues and conditions and the people in your world. Because the name you call things will definitely become what you call them to be. How you call things will become how they become or how they will be in your world. If you call blessings a curse, the blessing will be a curse in your world. If you call curses a blessing, the curses will be a blessing in your world. The name and the labels you give to things must change from today. You call things the way you want them to be, not the way they look or the way they appear. Begin to label things the way you want them to be from the deepermost part of your heart. Begin to call things according to your wishes and desires, not according to the way they appear. And if you do this, you begin to realize that the world will respond to you and begin to take shape according to your labels and according to your names. You know, there's a beautiful story I read somewhere that informed me so much. I learned so much from it. That the name or the labels we give to things actually become what they are. I mean, according to the name you call them, they become according to the name we call them. There was this company that was into the manufacture of shoes. Men and women's shoes, children's shoes, all kinds of shoes. So this company wanted to expand their business into a new territory, a foreign land. So as usual, as companies normally do, they sent marketers or researchers to go and do market survey the area and see how the business potential of that area is or was. So first they sent one person to go and look at the land, look at the people, study them, and see how potentially profitable selling shoes or doing shoes business in that area could be. Now, according to what I read, the first person went, looked at the city, met massive number of people, and funnily enough, what he saw was that from top to bottom, men, women, everybody in that community, in that environment, nobody was wearing a shoe. Everybody was walking barefooted. From men to women, from adult to children, everybody. So this person, seeing this, said to himself, this is not a place to do shoe business. Look at the people. They don't know the value of shoes. Nobody is wearing shoes. Who is going to buy? There can be a good market for this company. So he went back, told the company told them what he saw and what he thought. So the company decided to send a second person to either confirm or deny the report. The second person went, saw the same people, massive number of people, saw the same condition. Nobody was wearing shoes. Everybody was walking barefooted. But he stood there and something struck him. He told himself, wow, this massive number of people, nobody is wearing shoes, meaning nobody has shoe. This is a great and a wonderful opportunity for this company to cash in, to make huge dividends over here, because we are going to be the only company to sell shoes to everybody in this land, and that is a good business. So he also went back, gave his report to the company. Of course, depending on what the company choose to do, or depending on who they chose to listen to, my dear listener, you can determine for yourself the outcome. If the company decided to listen to the man who said there is no opportunity, there is no possibility, because nobody is wearing shoes, nobody has an idea how shoes work, nobody has a value for shoes, so we can't do business. The company cannot do business in that environment. But they chose to listen to the second person, invested in the land, and reaped huge dividend. Now, what does it tell you? The name, the label, the interpretation we give to things will become what they are. Two people can look at the same thing, same scenario, same condition, come up with different interpretation, and as they interpret it, that is how they will become. So my dear listener, my dear viewer, do you want to take charge of your world? Do you want to be in control? Do you want to be the master of your world? Do you want to, be in command of your world? Then hear this. The labels you give to things will become in your world, in your life, according to what you call them. If you set up a goal, you set up an ambition to pursue, what you need to do, according to what we are learning here, is to see everything as a privilege, as an opportunity that will help you advance further towards your goal, no matter the nature of what comes against you. Now, in the scriptures, the Apostle Paul made a very powerful statement. He said, and we know that all things, the good, the bad, the ugly, all things work together for good for those who love God. Which means that as far as the Apostle Paul was concerned, the interpretation he gave to things, the label he gave to things, whether they were good, they were bad, they were ugly, was that All these things are working for me. So if you meet somebody who slapped me for no reason, I will interpret that to mean that this thing is working for me. If I meet somebody who loves me for no reason, it is working for me. Who hates me for no reason, it is working for me. As far as Paul is concerned, the interpretation he gave, he chose to give life, and all that he went through was that everything is working out for my good, period. Wow, how are you interpreting or labeling what you are going through that will make you command your world the way you want it to be? There are people who see God in everything, and there are people who see the devil in everything. There are people who see good in everything. There are people who see evil in everything. At the end of the day, just remember that your world is at your command. If you interpret things in a way that goes against you, you are building a world a world that will work against you. If you always label things in a way and manner that is contrary to what you truly want, you are building a bitter, a destructive and a negative world for yourself. But whatever comes against you, choose to call them a blessing. Choose to call them a step in the direction of your goals and ambition. And as you call them, as you label them, so shall they be. All things work together. How can all things work together for you? Unless you make them so. You have to make them so with intention, with purpose. So my dear viewer, you are not a victim of your world. You are in charge of your world. So consciously take up this responsibility. Whatever world you desire to live in, know that anything that happens in your world, you are going to interpret or label that as a blessing in line or in the direction of your major goal, of your major assignment. If you look at life this way, everything will come together and work for you the way you want it or the way you have made them to be. All things can work for you if you label them so, if you call them so. And I want to encourage you to call them so. Your world truly is in your hand. You can be rich from being poor by seeing everything in your world as an opportunity to help you towards prosperity. If you have prosperity in view, everything that happens to you, every step that you take, can take you there, provided you label them so. But if you live in a world where you think that you are not in charge of anything, circumstances are controlling you, and that things outside of you are in charge of your life, then of course you don't have a chance. That is the path of victimhood. That's the path of absolute failure. And don't go that way. I want to encourage you. Your world is in your hand. Take charge. Be conscious. Label things according to your wishes. Call things according to what you want, not according to how they appear. And the things around you will begin to take shape in response, in conformity with your belief and according to your labeling. I thank you so much for this wonderful piece, and I trust that you find some value in it. If you find some value in it, share it with a brother, share with a sister, share with a friend, so that together we learn and build our life on purpose, build our life by design, and not sit there for circumstance to determine what happens or what becomes of us. Thank you so much for watching, and I trust that you will learn more, even more, in the next video. God richly bless you.